What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully, everyone had an amazing weekend. They're always just way too fast. But here we are, Monday, the final week of September. Everyone is preparing for October, and we're going to break it all down, folks. So just imagine you're sitting in a room with your best friend, right? And you uncovered something massive. Listen to me. We just entered the point of no return. The acceleration phase, it's starting. You can feel it, right? Money, institutions, adoption, everything is moving faster than anyone thought possible. The shocking part is that the majority still thinks this is just another hype cycle. They're wrong. I've got the receipts, I've got the setups, and the catalyst that prove we're officially crossed into uncharted territory. This is where fortunes are made and narratives flip overnight. Stay with me because what I'm about to show you, it's going to change the way you look at the crypto markets forever. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Bitcoin, $112,087. It's currently up 2.43%. Ethereum right behind, it's up over 3%, coming in at 4,124. And XRP about $3 billion away from jumping back into that number 3 spot, coming in at a mean $2.85. Total cryptocurrency market cap, it's in the red a tad bit, coming at 3.77 trillion. Now let's get over to the XRP chart. Let's do a little TA on this thing. Let me get my handy dandy hour ready. So from January of this year, which you can see, it was about right here or so. So from January to April. So let's come and take our handy dandy and let's draw this out. From January all the way to April. What do you see here? We're consolidating downward, right? A lot of choppy candles, wicks both ways, showing indecision. This was our cooling off period after a strong run we had from November all the way up into the beginning of the year. After we cooled off and we went sideways, it kind of floated up. What do we see running then? In July, you get your big green breakout right here. Here's your massive breakout to the upside. That was the strongest impulse since the consolidation started. That's when we reclaimed $3, but we failed to push, into that price discovery level. And now, where are we currently sitting? And so you can see it starting right here, August, right until September, where we are right now. Well, price, it's just been slowly bleeding sideways, back down, right? But importantly, very importantly, it hasn't broken structure. Where is structure sitting? Right around 265, right here, give or take. This is our structure that we're looking at. 265 is your region. 265 is your major structural support. 230 is your next support if that fails. We got resistance sitting at $3 and $3.40. Potential bull flag is playing out, like the July breakout. It looks like the flagpole, which is a beautiful thing. And the consolidation since then, so you can see this arrow right here where my mouse is highlighting. This could be your little breakout here, your potential bullish flag. Obviously, you can see the big blue in that. That's the flag itself. When that breaks, 380 to 420 is your first stop. I like 450 to 650 as my zone as well. So even though recent candles we've seen on XRP, looks like the last 2 weeklies all red. We started this week a little in the red as well. We're not showing a heavy volume breakdown, so we're good. So your big takeaway on all this, 265 holds, the bullish structure's alive. We break 3, we unlock the higher targets that could come super fast. If 265 breaks, you're going to target up anywhere from between 215 and 230. That's where we are, folks. Michael Branch put this out. XRP opened the new week with a burst of momentum, pulling in more than $6.7 billion in fresh market value overnight. That's not a blip. That is capital rushing into XRP while other majors are still chopping sideways. This matters because momentum at the start of a week, it sets the tone for the rest of the week. Kind of like you wake up and you go to work on Monday. If you wake up in a great mood, you're just out there killing it, you're going to have a great week. But if you start the week, you got a flat tire on the road, something happens to the car, you're going to have a pretty crappy week. So Monday's when we vibe out. That's when we check the tone here, everyone. Big players, they don't just drop billions casual on a Sunday night. They didn't just go win in some NFL football game and they're like, all right, we'll put the money in crypto. No, they position themselves when they see conviction. This kind of inflow, it tells us that the appetite that is out there, it's real for XRP and it is building. Every cycle has its leaders, right? ETH was DeFi. Before that, it was Bitcoin and the ETFs, the very first ever ETFs. And right now, XRP is showing the early signs of leaderships. Here's what gets me fired up, though. This isn't real hype. You don't get 6.7 billion in fresh value from TikTok traders aping in. Excuse me, I didn't say real. This isn't retail hype. Real wouldn't make sense. This isn't retail hype, right? This is institutional money. Your general public doesn't have this money. This is institutional money that is pouring into XRP. And we knew that was coming. And hey, if you're not following me on Instagram, get on over there. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. Give me a follow, huh? Guys on Earth put out his chart. I like what we see here. I like what he's saying. The chart doesn't look great, but it's positioned, right? And that's what we care about. We care about positioning. The thing that's up in the air, and the thing that's up in the air for crypto in a whole, and no one has a crystal ball. No one knows where this thing is going overnight. Yes, October, 90% of the times is a very good month for crypto. But that doesn't mean October 1 hits and we see nothing but green candles. I've spoken about this before and we'll touch on it real quick. I believe that this little dip that we've seen, the little market correction, should have happened weeks ago. I think we're on a little bit of a delay. So I don't think October is going to start to the second half of October. I think there is a delay to it. But the most important thing here to realize is that, yes, we're bullish. Yes, we remain bullish. Yes, we have ETFs coming in October. We got pensions and retirement funds coming at some point in 2026. We have a president who is bullish on crypto and wants to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. It is very clear what is going on. And when we look at the past bull cycles, it wasn't clear what was going on. The timelines on everything right now, they are accelerating. The US is accelerating. The UK is accelerating. Japan's accelerating. Brazil, Colombia, El Salvador. Everyone in the world is accelerating. They're going to have no choice, the banks, the remittance companies, your payment companies, but to partner with a cryptocurrency company. If they do not, they will not be around much longer. And here's one we don't talk about a lot, but this is huge. Talking about quant here and quantnet announcement. So we know XRP's momentum is big, but let's look what's happening with the broader infrastructure layer here, right? Today marks a defining moment in financial history because they just launched QuantNet. We haven't heard anything from them in quite some time. It was kind of creeping me out. I'm a big quant holder. I believe quant can run here and do a 10x. The world's first programmable infrastructure and network designed to transform how banks connect to tokenized money and digital assets. Here's why this is massive. Banks don't want to rip out their systems. They want something that's going to plug in seamlessly. That's what QuantNet does. It lets them coordinate assets and cash flows across silo networks without replacing the rails they already trust. Folks, that's orchestration without disruption. Think of it like this, though, to help you really understand what's going on here. In the early internet, you had fragmented local networks that couldn't talk to each other. Then TCP/IP, it unified all of it. And suddenly the internet exploded. QuantNet is exactly that for finance. Once banks realize they can connect liquidity, assets, and they can cross silos without risk, that's when your adoption goes absolutely vertical. And you're watching that switch get flipped right now in real time. The acceleration phase has institutional grade fuel now. And every single day we see more institutions coming into crypto. We see your big players, your Van Eck, your BlackRock, your JP, your Citi, all the ones who used to talk downward upon crypto are now entering the market. Make no coincidence about it. Eric Trump, he wants to let you know. He's here. He's not going anywhere. What he is doing out there is putting crypto on the map. He went on Bloomberg and he flat out said, with Bitcoin, you can transfer $500 million on a Sunday night with no fees. Think about that for a second. $500 million instantly, permissionlessly, and without gatekeepers. He even admitted that that scares big financial institutions. And it should, because the entire banking model is built on frictions, fees, and delays. If $1 billion moves are happening on a weekend, 24/7, 365, well, guess what? The power dynamics, they're flipped. This isn't just about Bitcoin either. I know you're all thinking about rip. We know XRP can do that a lot faster and cheaper. Yeah, 100%. But the picture is bigger than just XRP and Bitcoin here. The picture is about the narrative and everyone moving over to blockchain technology and to digital ledger technology. That is where everyone is going to win. XRP is not going to eat all of Swift's lunch. Quant's not going to eat it all. Velo, there is over a $10 trillion problem out there in the payments world. Everyone is going to play a little bit of it. But if we all win as a whole, we all win together here. Think about it though. Bitcoin, right? It got us here. It was the gateway, the highway. And then we have the Trumps talking about it. Once the mainstream hears that even the Trump family is open backing the utility, those psychological barriers break down. And that's what we're seeing now. And once that happens, we're not talking if institutions come, we're talking how fast they have to scramble not to be left behind. So here's where we land, everyone. XRP is holding strong and pulling billions. The setup points to leadership. QuantNet is rewriting the rules for bank, and Eric Trump is openly shaking the legacy model. And Swift is admitting blockchain is the future. All of this together confirms what I said at the start. The acceleration phase has begun. There is no going back.